Do you feel stuck in the same patterns no matter how hard you try? The version of you holding on to old fears and habits could be keeping your reality frozen. What if releasing that old self could instantly change everything around you? Stay tuned, because small shifts in how you see yourself can spark immediate transformation. 1. The old you keeps repeating patterns in life. Have you ever noticed that no matter how hard you try, certain situations in your life seem to repeat themselves? Maybe it's the same kind of conflict in relationships, repeated financial struggles, or patterns in your work life that always feel familiar. That's not a coincidence. It's your old you at work. The version of yourself that is tied to old habits, beliefs, and ways of thinking tends to recreate the same reality over and over. It's like your subconscious mind has a set program, and until you consciously decide to change it, life will keep sending you the same lessons. The old you isn't just about bad habits or past mistakes. It's the mindset and identity you've carried for years. It's the way you respond to challenges, the stories you tell yourself about what's possible, and even the self-limiting beliefs that you don't consciously notice. For example, if you've always believed that success is hard to achieve, you might find yourself unconsciously avoiding opportunities or sabotaging chances that could lead to growth. Your old self is comfortable staying in the familiar, even if that familiarity comes with struggle. Breaking these patterns starts with awareness. You first need to recognize that the life you're living isn't just fate or luck. It's a reflection of the person you've been up until now. Once you see the connection, you can start creating intentional change. Imagine your mind as a projector. If the same old image keeps playing, your reality looks the same. But if you consciously replace the film with a new image, a new version of yourself, your life starts projecting something entirely different. It's also important to understand that letting go of the old you doesn't mean rejecting who you are entirely. It's about releasing the aspects of yourself that no longer serve your growth. Think of it like shedding an old skin to reveal a stronger, more empowered version underneath. This process may feel uncomfortable at first because your subconscious mind is used to the old patterns, but every small step toward letting go creates momentum for meaningful change. By acknowledging the patterns that the old you keeps repeating and consciously deciding to step into a new mindset, you give yourself permission to break free from cycles that have held you back. Life doesn't have to repeat the same lessons forever. Once you release the old version of yourself, you open the door to entirely new experiences, opportunities, and a reality that aligns with the person you are becoming. 2. Letting go is the first step to transformation. Letting go is often easier said than done, but it's the single most important step if you truly want to transform your life. Most of us carry emotional baggage, outdated beliefs, or habits that no longer serve us, and we hold on to them because they feel familiar or safe. But here's the truth. As long as you keep clinging to the old, your life will remain tied to it. Transformation can't happen while your energy is still entangled with what's behind you. Think of letting go as creating space. Imagine trying to fill a jar with fresh water while it's already full of dirty water. You can't pour in anything new until the old water's removed. Similarly, your mind and energy must be cleared of limiting thoughts, grudges, fears, and self-doubt before you can invite in abundance, opportunities, and growth. Letting go isn't about giving up. It's about consciously deciding that what no longer serves you doesn't have power over your future. This step also requires self-awareness. You need to identify the habits, patterns, or beliefs that are holding you back. Maybe it's the fear of failure, attachment to certain outcomes, or old identities like, I'm not capable or I never get lucky. Once you clearly recognize these, you can start actively releasing them. Tools like meditation, journaling, or even simply verbalizing your intention to let go can help reinforce this process. Another key part of letting go is forgiveness, especially forgiving yourself. Often we hold on to guilt, regret, or shame from past actions, thinking we deserve to carry them forever. But holding on to these emotions only keeps the old you alive. Forgiveness frees your energy, allowing the new you to emerge. The beauty of letting go is that it's both liberating and empowering. It signals to your subconscious mind that you are ready for change, and the universe responds by aligning new possibilities in your direction. Every small step of release brings clarity, momentum, and confidence, setting the stage for transformation to unfold naturally. Remember, letting go doesn't happen overnight, and that's okay. Even a conscious decision to release one limiting belief today is enough to start shifting your reality. Transformation begins the moment you choose freedom over familiarity. 3. Thoughts and beliefs broadcast energy that shapes reality. One of the most powerful truths about life is that your thoughts and beliefs are not just private mental chatter. They actually send signals out into the universe and influence the reality you experience. Every thought carries energy, and that energy interacts with the world around you. When you consistently think in a certain way, you're essentially broadcasting a frequency, and the universe responds by reflecting it back through experiences, opportunities, and circumstances. For example, if you believe deep down that success is only for other people, your energy aligns with that belief. You might unconsciously avoid taking risks, procrastinate, or ignore opportunities that could lead to growth. On the other hand, if you cultivate a strong belief that you are capable, deserving, and resilient, you start noticing doors opening, people supporting you, and solutions appearing more effortlessly. This is not just wishful thinking. It's the principle behind the observer effect and modern understanding of quantum physics. Consciousness literally shapes reality. It's also important to realize that beliefs aren't always conscious. Often we are unaware of the stories we repeat about ourselves. I'm unlucky, I always fail, or I'm not enough. These thoughts might feel harmless, but they create subtle, energetic patterns that influence your experiences over time. Awareness is the first step. By catching these self-limiting thoughts, you can consciously replace them with empowering beliefs that reflect the reality you want to experience. Visualization and affirmation are practical ways to reinforce this. When you picture the life you want, feel it as though it's already real, and speak empowering statements aloud. You're actively sending a signal to the universe. Over time, your external reality begins to mirror the inner shifts you've made. The key takeaway is simple but profound. Your mind is not separate from your life. It is the engine that drives it. By consciously managing your thoughts and cultivating beliefs that support growth, abundance, and positivity, you can transform not just how you feel internally, but what manifests externally. Every thought matters, and every belief you hold acts like a magnet, drawing experiences into your life that align with your inner state. Ultimately, understanding that your thoughts and beliefs broadcast energy is liberating. It puts the power firmly in your hands. You are not a passive observer of life. You are an active creator, capable of shaping your reality with every conscious choice you make. 4. Old fears and limiting beliefs block growth. One of the biggest obstacles to personal transformation is the weight of old fears and limiting beliefs. These are the invisible chains that hold us back from stepping fully into our potential. They are the scripts our mind has been repeating for years. Messages like, I'm not ready, I can't do this, or I'll fail if I try. Even when you consciously desire change, these subconscious patterns quietly influence your decisions, keeping you in the same comfort zone over and over again. Fears and limiting beliefs are tricky because they often disguise themselves as protection. For example, you might resist taking a new job, starting a business, or pursuing a passion because your mind warns it's risky. While caution is natural, living under the influence of fear stops growth. Your old self clings to safety and predictability, even if that comfort comes with stagnation. This is why people often find themselves frustrated. They want progress but remain tied to the very thoughts that prevent it. The good news is that awareness is the first step to freedom. By identifying your fears and the beliefs that reinforce them, you gain the power to challenge them. Ask yourself, is this fear based on reality, or is it just a habit of thinking? Does this belief serve my growth, or does it hold me back? Once you recognize these patterns, you can consciously release them and replace them with thoughts and beliefs that empower you. Practical tools like journaling, meditation, and affirmations can help reprogram your subconscious mind. Visualization also plays a key role. By imagining yourself confidently stepping into challenges you once feared, you begin to condition your mind to accept new possibilities. Over time, this consistent mental practice weakens old fears and gradually dissolves limiting beliefs, opening the door for real transformation. Remember, fears and limiting beliefs are not permanent. They are learned patterns, which means they can also be unlearned. Growth happens when you acknowledge them, confront them, and intentionally choose new beliefs that align with the person you are becoming. By letting go of these mental blocks, you free your energy, creativity, and potential, allowing life to move forward in ways you may have never imagined. 5. The observer effect. Consciousness influences reality. The observer effect is one of the most fascinating concepts bridging science and personal transformation. Simply put, it shows that the act of observation, your awareness, can actually influence outcomes in reality. In physics, this is seen in experiments where particles behave differently when they are observed versus when they are not. On a personal level, this principle suggests that your consciousness, your focus, and your attention have the power to shape the world around you. Think about it this way. When you obsess over problems, you amplify them. Your focus gives them energy and presence in your life. On the other hand, when you consciously observe your thoughts, beliefs, and actions with awareness and intention, you begin to influence the trajectory of your experiences. The reality you perceive isn't fixed. It's a reflection of your inner state, magnified by the energy of your attention. This concept is incredibly empowering because it puts the creator's role firmly in your hands. If you start shifting your focus from fear, lack, or past failures toward possibility, growth, and abundance, your reality begins to follow. You are no longer a passive participant in life. Your attention, clarity, and intent become instruments of transformation. A practical example is goal visualization. When you vividly imagine your desired outcome, feel it emotionally, and maintain unwavering attention on it, you are observing your future success as if it already exists. This doesn't mean you ignore action. Instead, your conscious observation aligns your thoughts, decisions, and behaviors with the reality you're aiming to create. It amplifies opportunities, synchronicities, and insights that support your goals. The key takeaway is this: reality responds to your consciousness. Every thought, belief, and focus acts like a lens through which your life materializes. By understanding this, you realize that you have more control than you might think. You can intentionally direct your attention, let go of limiting patterns, and consciously observe the version of life you want to live. The observer effect teaches a profound lesson. Your mind is not separate from your reality. It actively shapes it. Once you embrace this principle, letting go of the old you and stepping into a new version becomes not just a personal choice, but a powerful tool for creating instant shifts in your life. 6. Consciously choosing a new version of yourself triggers change. One of the most transformative actions you can take in life is consciously choosing the version of yourself you want to be. Many people drift through life passively, allowing old habits, fears, and identities to define them. But transformation begins the moment you make a deliberate decision to step into a new identity, one that aligns with your highest potential, goals, and values. This choice isn't about pretending to be someone else. It's about acknowledging the best version of you that already exists within and actively embodying it. When you consciously choose a new version of yourself, you're essentially sending a clear signal to your mind and the universe. I am ready for change. I am stepping into a higher vibration. Your thoughts, behaviors, and energy begin to align with this new identity, and as a result, your external reality starts to reflect the change. For instance, if you decide to become confident and proactive, you'll notice yourself taking opportunities you previously ignored and approaching challenges with courage instead of hesitation. This process involves self-awareness and intentional action. Start by visualizing who you want to become. What habits, thoughts, and qualities define this new version of you? How does this new you think, feel, and behave? Then integrate these qualities into your daily life, even in small steps. The more consistently you act as this new version, the more your subconscious mind accepts it as your reality, reinforcing the transformation. It's also important to let go of self-judgment during this process. You might stumble or fall back into old patterns occasionally, and that's normal. Choosing a new version of yourself is not about perfection. It's about consistent effort and intentional focus. Each conscious decision, no matter how small, strengthens the identity you're stepping into. Ultimately, this principle highlights the power of conscious choice. Change isn't something that happens to you. It's something you actively create by deciding who you are and who you are becoming. When you fully embrace this mindset, you break free from old limitations, align your energy with your goals, and witness your reality transform in ways that feel instant and profound. Choosing a new version of yourself is the key that unlocks the door to a life filled with purpose, growth, and limitless possibilities. 7. Small mindset shifts can lead to instant results. Many people believe that transformation requires massive effort or sweeping changes, but the truth is that small mindset shifts can create powerful, immediate effects in your life. The mind is incredibly responsive, and even a tiny adjustment in how you perceive yourself or a situation can trigger an instant ripple effect. These small changes may seem subtle at first, but they alter the energy you project, which in turn begins to reshape your reality. For example, imagine you've been feeling stuck in your career. If you simply shift your thought from, "I'm not ready for this," to "I am capable of learning and growing," you immediately open yourself to new possibilities. This small internal adjustment can influence the way you act, the confidence you project, and the opportunities you notice. Suddenly, doors you hadn't seen before may start appearing, and decisions that once felt daunting become easier. The key is consistency. Small mindset shifts are like seeds. When planted repeatedly, they grow into new patterns, beliefs, and behaviors. Each moment you choose optimism over doubt, courage over fear, or abundance over scarcity, you reinforce a new neurological pathway in your brain. Over time, these shifts become automatic, and the new you begins to dominate your reality. Another way to implement small shifts is by reframing challenges. Instead of seeing obstacles as problems, consider them lessons or opportunities for growth. This tiny change in perspective immediately reduces stress and opens your mind to solutions. Likewise, practicing gratitude, even for minor things, can instantly raise your energy and attract more positive experiences. Remember, you don't need to overhaul your life in one day. Real transformation often starts with these small, intentional shifts in thought and perception. They are accessible, practical, and immediately impactful. By making subtle adjustments in how you view yourself, your circumstances, and the world, you are already setting the stage for your reality to change. In essence, small mindset shifts are proof that transformation isn't just a distant goal. It can happen right now, the moment you choose to see things differently. Your reality responds instantly to even the tiniest conscious tweaks in how you think and feel, showing that lasting change begins in the mind before it appears in the world. 8. Letting go creates space for new opportunities. One of the most powerful truths about personal growth is that you can't invite something new into your life while holding on to what no longer serves you. Think of your mind, energy, and time as a container. If it's already filled with old habits, grudges, fears, or outdated beliefs, there's little room for fresh experiences, opportunities, or ideas to enter. Letting go is the act of clearing that space, making your life receptive to the possibilities that await you. Letting go doesn't mean you forget your past or ignore lessons learned. It's about consciously releasing attachment to what limits your growth. For example, holding on to resentment from a past relationship can subtly shape your interactions, energy, and the types of people you attract. When you release that resentment, you're no longer tethered to the old energy, and suddenly, healthier relationships and positive interactions become possible. This principle works across all areas of life. Financial struggles, career stagnation, or creative blocks often persist because of lingering attachments to outdated identities or beliefs. By letting go, you signal to yourself and the universe that you're ready for change. You're essentially saying, "I'm done with what no longer serves me. I'm open to the new." This act of release automatically shifts your energy, and the space you've created allows opportunities to flow in more easily. Letting go can be practiced in practical ways: forgiving yourself and others, releasing limiting beliefs, and clearing mental clutter through meditation or journaling. Even consciously choosing to stop overthinking or obsessing about outcomes is a form of letting go. Each small step creates more room for growth and expansion. The beauty of this process is that it often feels liberating and energizing. You'll notice a sense of relief, clarity, and even excitement as old weight lifts off your shoulders. This newfound openness attracts synchronicities, new relationships, career breakthroughs, and creative inspirations that simply couldn't appear before because there was no space for them. Ultimately, letting go is an invitation to welcome life's abundance. When you consciously release the old, you make room for the new. And it's in that space that transformation, growth, and extraordinary opportunities naturally emerge. 9. Transformation is both a mental and spiritual process. Transformation isn't just about changing your habits or achieving external goals. It's a deeply intertwined mental and spiritual process. On the mental side, transformation involves shifting your thoughts, beliefs, and perceptions. It's about consciously choosing empowering narratives, breaking free from self-limiting patterns, and actively shaping the lens through which you see the world. Without this mental work, external changes tend to be temporary because the old mindset still governs your decisions and actions. But transformation goes beyond the mind. It's also a spiritual journey. Your inner energy, consciousness, and sense of connection to something greater than yourself play a crucial role in shaping reality. Spiritual transformation is about aligning with your true purpose, releasing attachments, and cultivating qualities like gratitude, compassion, and presence. When your mental and spiritual growth work together, they amplify each other, creating a powerful ripple effect that touches every area of your life. For example, consider someone aiming for a career breakthrough. Mentally, they may focus on learning skills, setting goals, and building confidence. Spiritually, they practice letting go of fear, trusting the process, and aligning with their higher self. The combination of mental focus and spiritual alignment creates momentum far beyond what either approach could achieve alone. Opportunities appear more naturally, creativity flows, and challenges are met with resilience rather than resistance. It's also worth noting that transformation is an ongoing process. There's no finish line because growth is continuous. Mental and spiritual practices like meditation, journaling, visualization, and conscious reflection help sustain the change and deepen self-awareness. They ensure that as your outer life evolves, your inner self evolves in harmony, preventing old patterns from creeping back. Ultimately, understanding transformation as both mental and spiritual empowers you to approach change holistically. It's not about forcing outcomes or superficially altering behavior. It's about nurturing a mindset and energy that naturally magnetize the life you desire. When your thoughts, beliefs, and consciousness align with your highest self, transformation becomes effortless, profound, and deeply fulfilling. 10. Daily practices of awareness accelerate reality shifts. Daily practices of awareness are the secret engine behind rapid and lasting transformation. Awareness is the act of consciously observing your thoughts, emotions, and actions without judgment. It allows you to recognize patterns, beliefs, and habits that may be shaping your reality unconsciously. By practicing awareness consistently, you begin to notice the subtle ways your mind and energy influence your experiences, giving you the power to make intentional changes. One simple but effective practice is mindfulness. Taking even a few minutes each day to pause, breathe, and observe your mental state creates a moment of clarity. In these moments, you can catch negative or limiting thoughts before they take root and consciously redirect your focus toward empowering beliefs. Over time, this strengthens your ability to respond to life intentionally rather than reacting out of old patterns. Journaling is another powerful tool. Writing down your thoughts, emotions, and experiences helps you identify recurring themes or self-limiting beliefs. Once you bring these patterns into conscious awareness, you can actively release what no longer serves you and set intentions for the reality you wish to create. Even simple reflection at the end of the day, asking yourself what went well and where you could improve, sharpens your awareness and guides your growth. Visualization is equally important. By vividly imagining the life you want and feeling it emotionally as though it's already happening, you train your subconscious mind to align with that vision. Daily observation of your thoughts and consistent visualization work together, signaling to the universe that you are focused and ready for transformation. The beauty of daily awareness practices is that they compound over time. Small, consistent efforts create momentum, rewiring your mind, clarifying your intentions, and raising your energy. Opportunities, synchronicities, and intuitive insights begin to appear more frequently, reflecting the inner shifts you've been cultivating. Ultimately, awareness accelerates reality shifts because it makes you an active participant in the creation of your life. When you commit to observing, reflecting, and aligning yourself daily, transformation is no longer gradual or uncertain. It becomes intentional, predictable, and powerful. The life you desire responds instantly to the conscious energy you cultivate each day, showing that awareness is not just a practice, it's the gateway to a reality you truly deserve. Remember, letting go of the old you opens space for instant transformation. Repeat, I am ready for my new reality. Comment this affirmation and share your breakthrough below.